We're ready to do our social media check-in. Leave your questions, comments, issues, and problems in the comment section. I'm going to get to that right now. Nisha, hi Brad. What happens after getting a prima facie determination? Well, you filed a VAWA application. You got a prima facie determination. That means the government said you presented minimum evidence of good moral character, abuse, and a bona fide marriage. So collect government assistance if you need it. Then wait for a VAWA approval, which will take several years. Camilla, I was 7 years in 2008 when I came to the USA with a parent under the A2 visa. I filed the adjustment of status under Section 13 in 2012 and denied in 2016, never appealed. Now I'm 21. Can I adjust my status? Why do you think you can adjust your status when you're 21 years old? But your parents were working for the U.S. Embassy, and then you filed an adjustment saying you're staying here is in the national interest. So why is it that you're 21 now and you can adjust? You would need to get married or have a child who's 21 years old to file your adjustment. Boss Lady Mar Ebanks. If someone filed for asylum, had an interview, and the case was referred to an immigration court, what are the consequences, and can the person get married and bring their marriage certificate to court, and what will happen? Consequences are you're in deportation, and the government wants to deport you. Whether or not you just don't show up with a marriage certificate and say, hey, I have a marriage certificate, I want to get a green card. You got to prove it's a bona fide marriage. So don't show up with a marriage certificate to court, file an I-130 on a bona fide marriage, then take it from there. Monique, question, I'm a Jamaican nurse. I figured that one out. Working in the UK, and I have an I-130 filed with an F1 category. My priority date is 2020. Can I still apply for a work visa? Yeah, you can apply for a work visa. Absolutely. As a registered nurse, you're not going to get a work visa unless you are an emergency room nurse, or a high-skilled master's degree nurse working in a master's degree job, or a nurse administrator. But what you can do is apply for a green card as a nurse, and it's pretty fast. And absolutely, you could do it. Dawn Harriet, Brad, someone who's over 60 years old and on Social Security wants to marry a spouse. Would you need a second affidavit support? Probably, yeah. But they can still get married. Just get the second affidavit support. Carla Stewart, good evening. My question is, I'm overstayed my visa. What advice do you give me on this matter? Because I'm so stressed out. The first advice is to people before they overstay on the visa is think about what they're going to do before they overstay. A lot of people just overstay on their visas and then say, oh, now I'll worry about it. And now I'm stressing out. Think about what you're going to do beforehand. Speak to a lawyer before you overstay. Speak to a lawyer before you overstay, because maybe there's ways you can stay in status. I don't have an answer for you other than have a consultation with me, and I'll go through all your history and we'll figure out the best way to help you. But the best way to be less stressed is get somebody on your side like myself who can help. Flip Moravec. Hey, Brad. Just wanted to ask you, what is going to happen when I file for citizenship while the I-751 pending, because they extended it to 4 years now? You can file for citizenship after you've had a conditional green card for 3 years if you're in a bona fide marriage with a pending I-751. It'll make it go faster, and you'll be a citizen faster. Amina Lee, I had my I-45 interview on March 14th, 2023. I got approval on the spot. I asked the officer to change my name on the green card. Do you think they will cause a delay for me when it comes to receiving the green card? I don't think it'll delay your case. I guess change your name. I don't think it would delay your case. Jamila, if someone lived abroad and overstayed and then returned back to their country, they was told that they have to stay in their country for 10 years. After they serve their 10 years, could their United States citizen daughter file for them, or will they have to file a waiver for reentry? Your U.S. citizen daughter can file for them after 8.5 years. The bar is 10 years from going into the embassy to get the green card. So I would have the U.S. citizen daughter file 8.5 years after the overstay, figuring it's going to take 1.5 years to get the interview. And after you've been physically out of the United States for 10 years, they could get their green card. They do not need a waiver. So the bar is not a bar to filing an I-130. The bar is a bar to walking into the embassy to get a green card. So 10 years and a day after you left, if you have a visa appointment, you can come back without a waiver. So start the I-130 before the 10-year bar is up. Mika Hewitt. Brad, if someone's mom filed for them and they arrived in the States and have a green card, they go to Jamaica to marry their boyfriend and file for him, how long will it take for them to come here? Well, it's a green card holder filing for a spouse in another country. It's about 3 years or so. Lisa Ann, how can I and my husband go to Russia under political asylum? If your husband applied for asylum and he goes back to Russia, then his asylum claim was, let's say, BS. At least that's what the Immigration Service will think. So once you apply for asylum, you don't go back to the country where you said I'm terrified to go back to. 29 Super C. Good afternoon, Uncle Brad. Question: my wife missed her EB3 interview where she was the secondary applicant. How can her application be readjusted after the primary applicant have the interview? I guess you got your green card, but your wife didn't show up on the interview, but she's derivative of you. Because I remember you were getting sponsored in a job. So she was derivative of you. She has to contact the U.S. Embassy and schedule the appointment. Orlando, I had my 10-year green card since 2021, never traveled back to my country. Well, I have a problem when returning back to the USA, got my green card through marriage. You will not have a problem coming back as long as your trip is for short duration, 2, 3, 4 months. It's perfectly fine. Good luck on your trip. Katie, 1876 Jamaica. Hi, Brad. My VAWA was approved. What's the average time for my green card to file? Well, after your VAWA is approved, you file the adjustment. You should get your green card about 9 to 10 months. Congratulations. And last question in our social media check-in. Hi, Brad. Can the immigration lawyers fight to change the law for parents filing for their age and married children, their immediate family? Immigration lawyers are not fighting to change the law. Being frank with you. Congress has to change the law. There are immigration advocacy groups that are fighting to change the law, many of which I belong to. But I can't change the law, and I can't tell Congress to change the law. All I can do is represent people. It's not my job. My job is to represent people as the law stands. But I'm not a political activist, although I belong to different organizations and put my money towards political activism. I'm not a political activist per se. I'm a lawyer who helps people with whatever the laws may be. But yes, I want them to change as well. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.